Welcome back to another episode of the K-Dog&Fish Show. I am Fish.
K-Dog.
Funko and other toy companies are having massive layoffs.
Listen, we appreciate you. You're very talented. It's us. It's not you. It's us. Oh, no, yes, you're fired. But it's us. It's not you.
A few days ago, Gasselcast, who we know very well.
They're cool. I like them.
They did a show actually revealing, and Diss Trackers shared the information that Funko not only had a bunch of layoffs, they also said that there was going to be a 20% like global workforce for Funko layoff this year, and that was the first part of that 20%.
Right.
So that's a huge amount.
I don't understand the math because they don't seem to be slowing down production.
That is interesting you said that. So with that being said, and we'll get back to the layoffs.
I guess it takes less people to make biddies.
They're smaller.
They're smaller.
There was two other announcements by Funko recently. One last week about acknowledging the price increases. So if the price is going up, but you're also laying off 20% of your workforce, that's not a good sign. But within the announcement that the price was going up and them sort of defending it, they gave some key points.
But didn't also they just give a statement where they had an amazing quarter?
Yes.
Where sales were up huge and they paid down a bunch of debt.
We did hear that recently about the quarter.
So
they just had another quarter reveal.
So everything seems to be good, and now all of a sudden things are bad. Like, I don't know.
Well, with the price increase, they said this is the things that they said is going to happen because of the price increase.
Great.
Better sculpts and more detailed figures.
Sure.
Your shelf deserves a glow up.
Yeah, but you're going to raise the price anyway. So
Exactly.
What's the difference?
This is just a justification.
Did
Premium.
they get Thrilljoy to help write this?
Premium packaging, printed directly onto the box, less clutter, more stunner. Expanded Octane 5 stickers to track and authenticate rare finds. Ooh, and all those pretty colors. And then finally, limited edition collectibles. We already know about those. They just dropped the first one on Friday that are actually limited. Now, with the first point, and I take this back and I give total 1,000% credit to Gasselcast for pointing out this, and I think it's a smart point, is that part of the recent layoffs were artists. So if you're going to put better sculpts, more detailed figures, doesn't that require the work of artists that you're laying off? I'm just saying.
Theoretically.
Just saying.
Just saying. Yeah.
Maybe they're keeping the good ones and getting rid of the bad ones.
Oh, like they had a bunch of good artists, and one of them just doodles all day.
Yeah.
He doesn't do actually anything.
I feel like this is just going to slow down production, right? Like,
Maybe that's what we've been
And they're
saying. They
shipping-
need to do
Maybe
that.
we should. Maybe they should be slowing down.
no, I mean, they're not going to slow down production. They're going to continue doing the massive amount of production they do. It's just going to take longer to get it now,
okay, I get
you
what
know?
you're saying.
And here's my problem with that entire statement.
Okay.
They're talking to us like we're children. Like everything has to rhyme. Like you're taking your kids to the dentist and they don't know they're getting braces. Okay? You know? Like seriously.
Yeah.
You know? We don't need you to rhyme the whole way through it. You know?
Gotcha.
Just imagine when Donald Trump announced all the tariffs and everything rhymed like it was a nursery rhyme.
Actually, that wouldn't
you know?
surprise me.
And then people would just be like, well, it doesn't sound that bad. I'd be like, no, it's still tariffs.
Once you put it in the rhyme form.
Still tariffs. So I don't like this whole, what was it? Less clutter, more
stunner.
less
Not
clutter,
really
more
rhymey.
stunner.
No, he failed
Yeah.
that.
Could have done better with the
Less-
rhyme.
less-
Also,
clutter,
the boxes
more
are already
stunner.
printed. I don't understand that.
Well, now I think that they're meaning that they're stopping with, and we pointed this out on other shows.
Yeah.
The sticker when it comes to a glitter flocked chase even is now going to be printed on the box.
Yeah. But then what about all
Now we're doing it with
what about
everything.
the collectors that like the chase collectors?
Yeah.
People that just hunt down chases, right? Chases are cool because of the chase sticker.
You might actually miss it.
Yeah, you're gonna miss it in the
miss
corner.
it if it's on the box.
Corner,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
But anyway, back to the layoffs.
Seems like extra work, extra production, just because you guys want to have a massive sticker on the front of the box.
I don't know if you're really telling us the truth. If you're going to be doing all of these things at the same time, and that's why you're raising the prices, but then you're going to lay off 20% of your global workforce.
Well, and any of the molds that they're going to do that are going to be better, they're going to charge you Pop Plus.
Yeah.
They're going to charge you more for it,
This isn't about pricing for the sake of pricing. This is, again, from Funko with the price increase. It's about making sure we can keep giving you the best collecting experience possible without cutting corners. And is laying off 20% of your global workforce cutting corners?
Sounds
I
like
don't know.
it, but I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Here's my 2 cents on this.
Okay.
I'll give you I'll crack a little egg of knowledge on you. Now, we understand how business works. We are titans of industry. Obviously.
That term has been used so many times.
I am not arguing that price increases are going to happen. Of course.
Everywhere that
Of course.
happens.
But they're suggesting that and you can correct me because I don't do any research. They want the common price, people to suggested retail to go from $11.99 to $14.99. Basically,
that was a brand new announcement a day or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want, starting July 2025, the MSRP is going to go up $3. They want retailers to charge $14.99 USD instead of $11.99.
So you're looking at $12 to $15, which is $3, which is basically 25%.
Okay.
Any 25% increase in retail is high. That's a high increase in retail.
That's not inflation.
No, that's
That's
not inflationary.
25%. Yeah.
25% is a high increase in retail.
Yeah.
Honestly, inflation you're looking at 2-3%.
2-3%. Yeah.
Maybe 5%, maybe 10% you can get away with, but 25%?
Yeah.
It's too high. You're squeezing people out. You're going to squeeze out the wholesalers. And again, for Canada, same with us. So our prices are going up 25% too. We already saw that.
We saw
what's
that.
happening July 1st when we're going to take it in the old sphincter, and we know exactly.
We talked about that we knew that was coming for Canada.
Ours is higher. Ours is over, when we did the math, it was over 30%,
Yeah.
So it's just for retail, this is a quite a large increase. So I'm not saying you're gouging. Maybe your prices have been too low the entire time. Then maybe you should have strategically raised them. But it still doesn't make any sense because now what's going to happen to the Pop Pluses? What's going to happen to the exclusives? Now you're doing all these limited edition pops. It just seems like Funko is getting very expensive to collect, which is fine, as long as it's
the
cool.
collectors who are into it.
Yeah, but you're not making another making fun documentary because there's not a lot of fun in Funko anymore. It was an affordable hobby that people love to have insane collections. Now they're going to be like, well, I can't afford as much. And they better come out with some cool
We didn't actually get a chance to talk about this, but remember when Entertainment Earth raised their prices? They actually came back and went down a bit because the 40% increase was, they just were taking it in the face with comments about the 40% price increase that they actually lowered it.
Yeah.
And I think they did lower it, ended up lowering it to what Funko's suggesting now, which is the $14.99.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it was...
And that's just a suggestion, because you might not even make that much off that pop with a suggestion.
Yeah.
Have to put it to like 16.
You don't even know.
Also, what I find funny about this industry,
Okay.
which is we're knee deep into it.
Yeah.
So we've had this price statements come out from Thrill Joy. Remember when he released how about the megapix and how that's why I had to raise the prices because
from 125 to 175.
Yeah, they didn't add up the bottom line and
then
everything
went
else.
back to 125.
And that's to describe the pricing. So now Funko's coming up to describe it's a justification of the price increase, right?
Yeah. I think it's bullshit.
But I'm just saying, most retail companies don't put out a price justification.
Yeah.
They just raise the fucking price. You're putting out a price justification because you know it's wrong and people are going to be pissed. You think when the new Jordans come out,
Yeah.
You think they're going to be like, so this is why we're raising the prices? It's like, no, we're raising the prices because Jordan just built a new mansion in Jupiter, Florida. And those lawns need to get cut. You know? They don't justify it. Lego doesn't justify their price increases. Funko seems to have to come out and explain why they're increasing their prices because they know it's wrong and they know it's going to piss people off. That's all I got to say. End the video.
Also, I feel like they didn't do it incrementally. Like if you said we have a plan and we're going to keep raising the price $1 a year for the next 5 years, then that's something different than just going 25%.
They already started these shenanigans months ago where you're trying to figure out why this one's a Pop Plus and this one's not a Pop Plus.
Yeah.
This one has a base, but this one has a base, but it's not a Pop Plus. This one is a Pop Plus. Why is this one a Pop Plus? Because it has a base, but this one has a base, but not a base like that, but still a base, but not that base. It has that base. So this is not a Pop Plus. No, but this one is. Still a 4-inch box? Yes. Great. Yeah. Makes sense. More money? Yes. Here you go.
Absolutely.
Like it's just shenanigans. And I think that when you have to actually make a public statement trying to justify why you're raising your prices, you know that you shouldn't be doing it, or you know you should be doing a little bit, but you know you're shooting from the hip.
You're right though. Like just coming out and going, listen, we know you're going to be pissed. This is what we're going to do about this with the extra money and having some sort of justification. Yeah. But at the bottom line, it's your bottom line.
A bag of mulch goes up at Home Depot. They don't make a press conference about it. You know?
Like and mulch did go up.
It did go up, and I was like, this is bullshit.
But you bought it anyway.
I bought it anyways. I didn't storm in there with the mulch, throw it at the manager, who's John, who we know. He'd be like, K-Dog, you're throwing a bag of mulch at me? What is this? It's bullshit, man.
It's bullshit.
No, they didn't put out a press release about why the mulch went up 85 cents.
Yeah.
But Funko has to justify it because I honestly think it's wrong. And I know prices have to go up.
Yeah.
This is too much. And Funko is becoming extremely expensive. And I think it's because you're overproducing between the biddies and all the other stuff you're doing. Because I still think you're doing too much of that.
Well, even just the weekly announcements of new pops that are coming.
But you've also announced that you've been having amazing quarters. Like Funko has come back and you're paying down your debt and you're making all this money for your shareholders.
So then pay your employees.
So now,
don't fire them.
But now you're going to fire 20% of your workforce and your profits are up, which means you're turning into a conglomerate, which is what happens when you go public. Yeah. And now I think it's going to not be great.
But it's not just Funko, and is this where collectibles are headed, or is just these layoffs?
Yeah.
Just the beginning.
R is R O. I'm not sure what the right is. I guess is the right way to say this. Not R is the collectible space just becoming extremely crowded. Too many options, too much production by these companies that think they can just make whatever the hell they want, and at the end of the day, it'll be purchased. Which we're realizing Funko is understanding that now because they're being dumped left and right by different retailers because they don't want to give them the shelf space, and there's too many SKUs. And I don't know.
You know who's not being dumped and not doing layoffs?
Yeah,
Rocky Moto.
Yeah,
Funmaker Mike.
Listen, give it another 2 months.
He's got Fluffy on board. They're doing a Vegas event.
Yeah. Funmaker Mike's not explaining.
Wave 2 of figures.
He's just like, come on, you want some ramen? You want some fake ramen
with a slurp prize?
Slurp your way over to Rocky Moto.
They're affordable. They're
they're the same price as Funko though.
For a regular 4-inch common, I can't even remember what
they $19.99.
Yeah, they might be
What's the difference?
For USD. Well, compare that to a $40 1,200 piece limited edition
There's only that certain people are going to buy those. I'm talking about the regular Funko on the shelf. It's the same price as the Rocky Moto.
That's fair. But
also we actually got to see Thrilljoy in person for the first time.
Oh yeah. Shout out to John Locke.
The figure, not Mariotti.
Oh, I wish.
He's still ghosting me.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, looking at it, A, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
And B, I'm pretty sure he's going to raise his prices.
Yeah. Because that one...
It's a nice mold.
The new 4-inch, that's the one you're talking about.
Great mold and great packaging. You know that packaging can't be cheap.
Do the zipper chase
I'm not saying it's not worth it. I'm saying those prices will go up because that looks... To me, Thrill Joy looks like it's worth like 25,
Yeah.
where he's at 20 right now.
He's doing 20 USD.
Yeah, to me, it gave me like a $25 vibe.
All right.
I think he deserves that. You know,
But Rocky Moto too, I'll say this is compared to your point, B Money, was that he's only doing like 6 figures, like individual
Yeah, but he
characters,
just
and
started.
Funko does 100 a week.
They've been around
Yeah.
for 20 years.
yeah,
They could still pull back a little bit
Yeah.
on production, but
Funko is still on the low end of collecting.
who remembers the
Super 7 figures, you could run get a
Lean
wave of them.
startup.
Each one's 55 USD.
yeah. No, Funko's still no, it's still low, but
Yeah.
it's just again
For their market, they're getting more expensive.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
I just saw a new Sideshow collectible piece, and it was Luke Skywalker stepping onto the X-wing with the ladder, and I nearly pissed my pants with joy.
Well, yeah, because
I don't know how much it is, but
it'll be yeah. But Sideshow is so
so
awesome.
cool.
Sideshow's the best, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they've always been high end.
Yeah.
You know, but they also put that work into the production.
That's why the figures are 200 plus.
exactly.
Well, the big figures are way more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof,
Depends on the scale,
but
right?
Is
they're-
it a hot toy or is
yeah.
it a sideshow? Is it a statue?
No, it's a Sideshow.
Sideshow.
Yeah, okay.
Sideshow.
No, it's it's gonna
big?
be
It's pretty
nice.
sweet.
It's probably about that big.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's
That's
nice.
That's a grand.
yeah. Oh, it's a G. It's a G for sure. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, I worry about the workers and the layoffs. I think that this is
Oh,
it sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been there a long time, like to get laid off. And we know just in a corporate world with layoffs, sometimes you're laying off the highest, valued people who are making the most money, in order to clear that off and replacing them with somebody new who's making a lot less, who can basically do the same job, maybe not as well.
Yeah.
That maybe, hopefully, some people who've been with Funko a long time aren't getting the axe.
I'm just saying they're making a lot of, promises to justify the price increase.
Yeah.
But then also making decisions on the corporate level that seems to be trimming your workforce quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who you're trimming, So
It was basically from all departments. They're,
Yeah.
20% of the global workforce for Funko this year.
Oh.
Anyway,
what do we know?
we are really curious to hear what you guys think. Is Funko going to keep their promise and do the things that they said to justify these price increases? At the same time, like, how do you feel about them laying off 20% of the workforce? We want to hear from you guys in the comments for bonus content, exclusive live shows, discounts on the website, and more. Become an exclusive YouTube member by clicking the join button on this show. Until next time, I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
See you.